Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 8. This is starting after the time lapse. We are here in the tunnel to the jungle, and we are not headed that way today. We have got plenty on our plates, so we are going to head back towards camp, and with any luck, oh, no, I take that back. We are on the jungle end of the tunnel, so I may as well take a minute and show you around. So, in the map, up here in this clouded out area is the area known as Kitten's Jungle. Now, I had mentioned the kittens in several episodes. These are the beasts that unfortunately my race are responsible for unleashing upon the face of Attis, and there's not much we can do about them. These guys are fairly docile unless you attack them, although they are level 35. I can take them, but it's a pretty rough fight sometimes. And if you head off this way, around the right side of the jungle edge, you will eventually introduce yourself to Kiro, as the mob is affectionately known here on Ceylon in the starter area, or the dominant Kirosta, which is the soldier version of these guys. And she will twist you up, but that's not what we're here to do today. We are here to take on Mr. Arken of the Gooheads tribe. We've put that off quite long enough. We've managed to get our fight level up to 30. His level is only 25. I think we can tank him, so we're going to try. But that's that. You guys have probably noticed by now that I have a FaceCam. Or at least I'm going to attempt to. I am recording one. I think I've got the settings worked out as far as setting it in, and it should be appearing right around down here somewhere in the bottom right hand corner, because I don't really use this window and I don't really mind covering it up. It just seemed like the logical place to put the window. Truth be told, I wish I could probably turn that and this off. It wouldn't bother me, but oh, this is going to take some time. So what we are going to do is we are going to engage the auto run, or swim in this case. And I will see you guys once we are back on the island. I'll probably talk about some things as we pass through them, but more or less we've got a task in front of us, so we're going to head that up. Alright guys, and we are back. Now we are going to emerge here on dry land. I think I've found a space in between the dreaded tour box. I have not. Back in the water. They really are quite a nuisance, and the reason being is they are an aggressive mob who is also social, much like the Jabbings, and if these guys pack on me right now, there is little to no hope. I think that was pretty well demonstrated in the time-lapse video, which will go up before this one. If you didn't watch it, I got my rear end handed to me, and thankfully a higher level player was around to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And since we're headed over here towards the throne room, I don't mind swimming along the beach here a little bit and getting over towards these mech tubes. They won't bother me. They're a passive mob. Once you hit mainland, you can actually buy those and use them as pack animals. So hopefully we'll get to seeing that. I am seeing some people in chat down here, so it's not hopeless if we buy the farm, and it's not hopeless if we can't tank Arken. But I'd like to be able to one-man it. When I first started playing Ryzom, it was sort of a thing for me. You know, it annoyed me that I couldn't one-man this basic training area mob. And I got countless times just laid waste by Arken. So I have a personal hatred for this guy. It's really not that difficult to kill him. You go up, you taunt him, you lure him away from his buddies there, and you take off, and then you just clobber him into submission. And I have self-heal 3, so we should be able to accomplish that. It's a matter of drawing him off alone, because I'm not very good at that for whatever reason. I usually go to pull him and pull 2 or 3 of his friends along with him. But off here to the side, we've got the Cratcha Fields. You saw me grinding on those in the time lapse. They're a pretty good mob. at this point in the game to just grind through for experience. There's going to be another one over here near the throne room, the Gingos. And they also drop some Q35 mats, I think. They might be 25s. But that's not terrible. Most of the upper level mats in here are in the jungle. And as I think I've mistakenly mentioned, you could get higher, but the max material quality on Salon is 45. So I'm probably not going to waste too awful much time here. Once I get to the point where I can craft 45 and use it, we're probably going to move on to the mainland where we can make use of that, because once we complete the quests here, we will actually leave with Q45 gear. It's a reward that you get through a sequence of quests you can go through. You don't have to do any of this. You can actually up and just leave the island on your first try. But we chose not to do that. I wanted to showcase the island a little bit, introduce everybody to the gameplay. I've never seen this. What is this? It's just some bones, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully this FaceCam is recording well. I did shoot another video for my pipe series on it, and it looked pretty rough. It looked much better than the previous one I had done on the built-in webcam of my netbook, which is actually what I'm recording the FaceCam on. For whatever reason, I have not been able to figure out how to record two things separately on my main rig here. So my solution was to plug the webcam into the netbook and record the FaceCam separately. It's going to cause a little more work in editing, but you know, you live and you learn. I am looking at a new microphone. I know this one's not the worst thing most people have ever heard. I've certainly heard worse floating about YouTube. But I found one that is supposed to be really good. I read a lot of great reviews for it. And it's a whopping $20 for a condenser mic, a articulating boom arm, and it is already USB compatible, so no funky XLR to USB nonsense. Here's our fella. And he does walk around up here in this little area on a set rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until he's over here and more or less alone. I'm going to run up, taunt him, and then run like the Dickens until such time as I'm able to turn around and attack him. And here is the moment. Okay, we got him. So we're going to take off. Let's see, did he get anybody to come with him? Oh, it looks like he may have a few looters in tow. So this is going to have to go fairly quickly or we're going to eat it. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Well, he hit hard there in the beginning. And then he seemed to lose steam. And not enough steam. Well, that's that. He was hitting me for 150 points, give or take. Yeah, looking back through the system info there, he was really putting in some work. So I'd say it's safe to say we are not prepared to continue that. What else did we have? We had the Shattered Ruins. We could do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just respawn over here. I'm not that worried about the death penalty. We'll go ahead and take a look around the ruins. You may recall from episode 7, Miles gave us quests. He said, hey, there is a ton of great stuff just sitting here in the ruins waiting to be found. And I said, we'll come back to that later. Oh, 5,400 points of penalty. That kind of hurts a little bit. I guess I probably could have at least asked for a res, but nah. Oh, Arken was bleeding long after he had offed us. That's kind of amusing. But we're going to sit here, take a chill pill, let things come back up to snuff there, and we'll be back. Alright guys, we are back. Our health is more or less up to snuff. The stamina and focus are going to come up. Focus I'm not really concerned with, but we are going to go ahead and target the ruins of Salon, dead ahead, 600 meters. and we're going to go see what we can loot from these crates that are lying about the ruins there, and we'll go back and talk to Miles. She's eventually going to send us up to the island there in the middle of the lake, and it's going to be a lot of running on my part, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, hopefully, because payday is tomorrow, I am going to have some extra funds lying about that I intend to put into microphone, things like that. So we're going to see how that goes, and eventually I am going to up the webcam. This one shoots at max 720, and I know it's just down in the corner and you may or may not be able to tell, but I would like to go ahead and get one that shoots 1080, and they run about $60 on the medium to bottom end. So not something that's out of the question, but not something that's a priority. I am still doing PC upgrades. A video card is definitely in the cards for that, because these renders are killing me. I go and render out a 30-minute episode, and it takes my computer about 2 hours to do that, and I don't really feel like it should. But we just upgraded to a solid-state drive prior to starting this episode, and on the task list yet is a new processor. I'm going to be jumping from a dual-core overclocked to a 6-core, probably also overclocked. I water cool. I see no reason not to run it that way. A lot of people will go, oh, but you're shortening the life of your chip. Yeah, well, so be it. At the price of processors, I can afford to do that. And I'm really not shortening the life of the chip because I'm water cooling it. My chip never runs anywhere near temperature. Like the one that's in there has a max limit of 80 Celsius, and under full load it might hit 45. So I'm just not concerned about it. New processors coming up, new video card coming up, and we're not talking like top of the line here. I am not trying to build an ultra gaming rig or anything like that. I don't game heavy enough to warrant that kind of investment. But we are going to get some things squared away. I need to get a storage drive set up for all these videos. I've actually had to delete the ones as I go. I guess I could have kept them. They were just disorganized and it bothered me, and the easiest thing at the time was to hit delete. My goal, of course, is to have a separate drive set up just to store everything on. But here we are. These are the crates I'm supposed to be looting. I checked a few on the way here, and of course I didn't have the options, so we're going to check these out. Let's see what we get. Do I have to attack it? No. Oh, we obtained one Prince Diadem of quality 1 for our mission. And of course now we have to run back and see Miles, which is going to take ages as we are almost a kilometer away from her on the outside skirts of the ruins, so it's going to be a little bit of a hike, but we can manage that. I don't really think I'm going to continue yammering on about my PC upgrade. I've given you guys the basics, and it's come and go. You know, I've got a day job, I've got a blue million hobbies, and this is but one of them. Although upgrading the computer is applicable to several of them, so it is money well spent. But we're going to see what we got. Anyways, we're going to head back to camp. I'm just going to dodge and weave through the jabbing hordes here. And once we are heading back up to Miles, I'll cut back in. We'll carry on with what we're doing. I may time-lapse it. I don't know. I'm learning more and more that I say I'm going to do X and I end up doing Y instead. Just kind of the way it goes. You get into the editor and you're like, you know, that would be kind of cool, time-lapse, throw some beats in. So let's toss up. We'll see. Either I'll fade out and you'll come back and we'll magically be in camp, or you'll watch the journey, but it's not going to be very eventful. This is a journey we've taken several times now, and I don't really feel the need to make everyone suffer through it with me yet again. So we'll see here in a minute. Alright guys, we have reached the edge of camp. We are but a few feet left from Miles, and we're going to go turn over this diadem. And for anybody who's not quite sure what one of those is, it's basically a princess tiara. It's just another word for that. I've seen it listed. I don't really know the etymology behind it, which etymology, by the way, is the history of a word or phrase. Oh, great. You know, she's talking about how skilled at crafting the Mattis are, despite everyone pretty much thinking they're the devil. We got an explorer's vest, quality 18. I'm blind as a bat, sorry. But we're going to take that. We're not going to use it, I don't think. Pretty sure. Why is that all over there? Pretty sure we're already equipped. Yeah, we've got a Ryzom vest, which is a medium quality armor. Quality 20, which is better than that. I mean, I don't really need the bonus that's attached to it. Shattered Ruins 3. Okay. This one is going to pair up with In Service of the People, where we have to kill these 10 puny gingos, because they are scattered around the tower here, High Syndic, which was the, more or less, oh, she's got something to say here. Yep. She's just telling me about the tower, which is what I'm about to tell you about. I don't really need to read it. But essentially what we've got is, in those ruins, there was a big tower. Over here in the throne room is where this tower happens to be located. Arken is right here next to it. So we're going to have to kind of go the long way around to avoid attracting his attention. And thankfully the experience I gained due to that level there, as I turned in the quest, it cleared the death penalty that was up here, so that's gone. But anyhow, over here in the ruins, it was a big successful Mattis city before their plant experiment overran them, and their government seat, their meeting hall, you know, the place where you could go and mingle with the people or the powers that be, was the Tower of Syndic. And as Miles has expressed here, she said, well, if you found the diadem in some rusty old crates over there, goodness knows only what you're going to find in this tower. Now, my previous experience tells me we're not going to find anything in the tower. The tower is mostly destroyed and rubble, but we do have to go take a look, so I'll see you when we get there, because it's going to be another long trip back to where we just were. This is mildly annoying, but it is part of it, you know, the running back and forth. If you haven't taken a chance to just go grind, it usually wanders you through some areas where you can pick up some experience a little bit here and there in magic or fight. I don't really need it. In fact, killing these javings is not worth my time anymore. But, you know what? We'll take one on just to see where we stand. I know on my main character that I haven't played since I started this series, I can more or less one-shot a javing now, which is oh so satisfying. Come here. Yeah, you. Oh, well, I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Oh, and I didn't mean to do that either. Well, you know what? I one-shot both of them, pretty much. That's interesting. So, I really am somewhat annoyed at the spacebar targeting in this game. It's nice if you're going through an area where there's only one mob and you're not worried about pissing anybody in particular off. But in that case there, I accidentally targeted a Selene in front of me, which I've done before, oddly enough, whilst fighting javings. And that can cause you some problems, depending on your level and the mob's level. In that case, of course, it was not much of a showdown, not much of a problem, but I do need to be mindful of that. That is the kind of thing that could get me into some deep, hot water. Not much point in cutting now. We've almost gotten there. You'll remember this hill here where the Yelks are. There's also some good materials in the area. So we're going to head on over here, and we're probably going to have to one-off these gingos. I don't think I could take them. They're another packed animal. Like the javings and the ragus we fought way back in, I think, episode 2 or 3. Way back. 3 or 4 episodes. Anywho, if you attract the attention of one, they are social amongst each other, and they will attract the attention of others, and we don't really want that. Like I said, they're a reasonably difficult mob to deal with, and it's best to just deal with them one at a time. At least for now. You know, of course, once I'm, level 100 something, and I've got 5 kabillion health, I could probably just stand there and let them maul me, walk away and get a cup of coffee, come back and do an AoE spell, and be done with a whole lot of them. But we are not there yet. I would like to get this series as much time as I can. Here's our Gingos. They're only level 24, but they have their moments. We're going to stand up here where we can deal with them one-off. They're hitting me for 45, which isn't terrible. I suppose I could go through some of those. I did change the layout over here. You can either do the drop-down like we had it to begin with, where I select a mission, or I can have them all open in a fold-out style. I like this better, that way you guys can see not only what's selected, but what's available. And it's also a little easier, particularly if I've time-lapsed something, to see what I changed from and to, because it's highlighted on the bar, rather than just suddenly changing in the mission here. But we'll switch over here. We have to kill several of these. And once we get done with that, we're going to go check out the tower. This is what's left of the Tower of Syndic. Not a whole lot, as you can see, although looking about, I can see that it may have been a pretty cool structure. Like, I kind of wonder if the devs built this and then destroyed it to make it ruinous looking, or designed it as a ruin to start with. But there's probably no way of knowing. Anyways, this I most definitely am going to time-lapse. We are just going to mow through some Gingo, and I'll see you here in a minute. Alright, so we have killed the requisite number of Gingos for what I believe is the final quest for Nomus and the Magic Tree. And what we have left to do is check out the ruins here, and I have a plan. See, I am... Oh, it just reset. So my... Excuse me. Probably won't be able to edit that out. Anyways, my life aura, which is just a HP regen buff that I have, just reset. It's got a 20-minute cooldown. I enacted it while we were fighting Arken to little avail, but I have that. I have my self-heal spell, which will more or less completely heal my character. And the plan is, since we really only have to walk in there to trigger the quest, I'm going to run down into the throne room and then run out. Now, the Gingos will not pursue me much past the edge of the throne room, which means once I get over here, I'll be okay. Cat's hacking up a hairball. You doing alright there, bud? Oliver. You good? Good? Alright. Sorry. He's my little buddy. Pain in my butt. He's my little buddy. But we have recovered full health, so I guess it's as good a time as any to give this a run. Oh, I don't know. I've got these guys here. Let's see. Let's plot a path here. Let's run down, run in behind this rock, and then run back out. That seems like a solid idea to me. Fingers at the ready to queue up the healing. And away we go. Now, we probably should have selected it. Okay, go back and report to Miles. Yeah, this isn't too bad. How many did I pick up? Oh, 2, 3. Looks like 3, 4, 5. Quite a few. Oh, this guy's still following me. I thought he'd back off by now. Interesting. Go ahead and heal up. Okay, he's like the last one. Oh, 2. Either way. Pickens for me. "'Tis but a flesh wound." Is that the best you've got? Yeah, that's what I thought. And these guys are dropping 24 level mats. I thought it might have been a little higher, but no such luck. But we now have good reason to run back to camp. We've got 2 quests we can report back on. The final fight quest yet still eludes us, but we will eventually get Mr. Arken and give him his right desserts. But this time I really am going to shut the hell up, and I'll see you when we get back to camp. Alright guys, we are back. We are probably going to start out with Namus and get the magic quests out of the way. Gotta be honest, I'm not really sure what we're going to do after this. I realized after looking around, because it was suggested to me that I go look and see how other people have Let's Played MMOs. And there haven't been a whole lot of them. Okay, we've finished up the Gingos. Those attacks should die down. Oh, he's just filled with pride. We've been a great student. And he's telling us now basically to screw off and go check out some of the other offerings. He just gave us some quality 40 magic amplifiers. We can't use them, but we are going to hang on to those because eventually we will be able to. And now we are going to run off and see... Okay, that's universe. Sorry, I was reading down the chat, and it was something completely foreign to me, and then I realized that it's in the universe chat, probably somebody on mainland, somewhere I've never been. Anywho, we'll get there. The tower's main room is still standing. Oh, I hate that. If there's a developer watching this, fix this. Instead of these little chat bubbles that hide behind interactive environment elements, make them just pop up on screen, because this is god-awful. That's my one major complaint about the game. Anyway, she's going on and on saying, hey, there could be great money to be made there. She's given us some Q20 boots, and we're wearing Q25 boots, so we're going to skip right over that. The Merry Harvester. What are we off to harvest now? She's no doubt, yep, going to talk to us in an annoying bubble again. She's saying we've proven ourselves, we're a good starting explorer here. And, she's saying we carried out experiments too, we just didn't do it on our doorstep. So she's going to want us to go up here to the island and check out some samples for them. I believe dead leaves. Just says gather materials. Anyways, we're going to head that way. I believe we finished up. Pretty sure we finished the crafting quest. Yeah, because we betrayed him. And we finished the magic quest, which means we are on the last fight quest, the next to the last quest for Miles here. And there are a few more quest lines we can follow. Like I said, I want to get that Q45 gear. It's pretty good stuff. All said and done. Like, you can go to the mainland with a lot worse gear. But we're going to fade back out and fade back in, you know. Do the old walk all the way across the world trick, because we are headed all the way back up here to the island in Shining Lake, and we are all the way down here at the Rangers camp, so it's probably going to take me the better part of 5 or so minutes, so I'll see you when we get there. Alright guys, we are back and we have almost made it to the island. And I have time-lapsed what you just saw, and I debated about taking out the FaceCam for it, and I decided some of the crap I was doing there was just too funny to take out. And I may make a point of just being in general ridiculous. during periods when I know I'm doing a time lapse. There will be times I get up and walk away, get another drink or something. My blood type is dark roast positive, so I'm forever drinking coffee. It is 4:18 in the morning for me, and I may or may not have to be at work at noon. I don't know. It's one of those things, you know. Sometimes you have to play it by ear. But, oh man, I am getting tired because my eyes are hurting. Anyways, we are coming up on our harvesting location, and we have to gather 10 plain dead leaves of at least quality something. 10, I think. 20. Ooh, stepping it up. Time to get naked. No sense in wearing out your gear to dig a hole in the ground. That just makes no sense. So if I wander around here somewhereabouts, I will see the dead leaves on the ground. I believe I actually have to go find them because they don't appear to be here. And maybe. I guess we'll find out. Let's get our foraging tool equipped. Plain dead leaf, I would assume that falls under the basic category, so let's do some prospecting. See what we can find. I gotta tell you, I was really happy there because I checked my bank and my paycheck has dropped in, so I will very soon be, okay, here are our plain dead leaves, ordering that microphone. And hopefully that's going to cut down on things like the coughing incident earlier, because it is a condenser mic with a cardioid pattern. For those of you who are not so technically inclined or could care less, that means it's only going to pick up audio in one direction, and of course I'm going to position it to be the direction I'm facing, so right around in here somewhere. So that's going to be something you're going to see in the FaceCam. But in theory, I should be able to turn away from that, and do any coughing or whatever becomes necessary, and it shouldn't be as prominent. I should be able to tweak that out in the audio editing. But we'll see. I'm really excited for that because I went and it's a cheap thing. Like I used to do live audio production and stuff like that, and I would never have thought in a million years that $20 would get me any kind of decent microphone. Now granted, I only paid $2 for this little lapel I'm using now. Look right there. It's doing well for me. But there were several reviews posted on Amazon, and they could have been doctored, you know, but I don't think they were too much, and the audio quality, quite frankly, was impressive. I was very much shocked that a kit with a mic and a boom for 20 bucks could produce that kind of audio, and I am all about being a cheap ass mofo, because I have many hobbies and limited funds. So I'm probably going to gamble on it. I've got a buddy, and he'll say, oh, you just bought a piece of junk. You should have saved the money and bought yourself a decent mic. But bottom line is, I'm not doing any big production audio or anything like that. You know, I mean, the most I might ever do with this is YouTube videos and potentially maybe record a podcast. But it'll do me. You know, as long as the quality is at least comparable to what I heard in the Amazon review. So, I've got that to look forward to. And I know I'm not like sponsoring Amazon or anything. I'm just incredibly lazy. I don't leave my house unless I have to, which pretty much boils down to work, eating out, and shopping when it's absolutely necessary. And that's just because I'm a homebody. I get irritated when I'm away from home for very long. And I don't like being irritated. Most people around me don't like me being irritated. But we'll see how it goes. We are humming right along here. We've gotten 6 down, 4 to go. And this is cruising right along because I'm getting them 2 at a time. And to top it off to boot, I'm getting a decent amount of experience from this. Oh, wow, we surpassed it. Okay, so now we have split. I don't know that I've ever actually gotten the forage skill high enough to make it split into these groups. And it would appear that I could continue foraging on on the island here and not do it. Or maybe they split again at 50. I think that's probably what it is. Yeah. So it hasn't actually split. It just revealed that it will at some point in the future. And these are the major biomes, if you will, the big... I can't think of the word. Anyways, those are the areas. And your foraging can level up each one of those. Mine will most likely take a turn for the desert, as we are going to leave here and enter Pyre, the home city of Ephyros, which is in the middle of a desert. And once I get to mainland and pop up the map and have to scroll out and still can't show you the immediate area, you will understand what I mean when I say the mainland is massive. Especially in comparison to this. I mean, this is a fairly generous starting world. It takes quite a bit to run from the back of the jungle all the way back to ranger camp. So much so that some higher level players will often just get themselves killed and take a free teleport back and deal with the death penalty, because it is irksome to have to run back and forth. But we're on our last two here. We've gathered them, and we are going to run back to camp. So I will see you when we get there, and that'll be that. Alright guys, welcome back. We have finally gotten back to camp. That really does. It takes 2-3 minutes. And it's boring. But that's just one of those aspects of an MMO that you cannot avoid. You can help alleviate it with mounts. Some of them have fast travel, that kind of thing, but not this one. At least not on the starting island. So we're going to give her the leaves, and she's going to give us the final quest. And she's saying she didn't expect us to go there and come back in one piece. I just love everybody's faith in us. Some Q30 gloves. That, I think. Oh. So we've got a... the artisan gloves are better. And I realized halfway back that I had not re-equipped my weapons. And I'm just now realizing I hadn't re-equipped armor either. Our next mission is going to take us way up here, just to the other side of the lake. There's a bandit camp up there. But we're not going to do that just yet. In fact, we're not even going to get into the dialogue, because I am afraid we are out of time for tonight. It is 4:30 even for me, and I would like to at least take a little bit of time to play with this in the editor before I need to get to bed and see how this FaceCam is looking. So that's it, guys. We tried Arken. We failed miserably. Half expected that, and burned out a couple of foraging quests. So we are fast approaching leaving the island. I think we might have another 5 or 6 episodes. It depends. I cannot remember how deep the other quests go. I skipped out on my main character, which I kind of wish I hadn't, because it would have been nice to have a refresher course, but at the same time it'll be nice to sit there and go through that with you guys and not know ahead of time what's going to happen. I gotta be honest, this has been a little boring for me, because I have done the starter island several times. I just haven't done the other quest as many times. So we'll see what happens, but thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed recording. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below if you'd like, and we'll see you back here for episode 9.